Hey, it's Rich, the Louisiana Hobby Guy. Today we're going to continue on with Accessory Week, and I have something that probably a lot of you have been waiting to see, which is the new Ortur 10W diode laser. And this is just the laser module itself. The module comes with a built-in air assist, so that's really nice, and I think you're going to like it. I just finished up all of the testing on it, and I'm going to get into the videos. So let's get started right now. Now, I did want to just mention one thing. I went out fishing last weekend, so my head got some pretty bad burn on it. You might see some what looks like dandruff coming off. It's really my skin peeling. So I haven't been able to shave or anything up top. But, you know, I have a bunch of different hobbies. Fishing is one of them. Fishing is one of my favorite hobbies. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a video on that hobby, you know, where we can visit for a while, spend the day. You can see what it's like out fishing in the Louisiana bayous. So let's get started with the review, off topic. You know how I am. I always go off topic. But let's get started with the review right now. All right, so here it is. The new Ortur LU2 10W laser diode module. Let's see what's in the box. This is the first time I'm opening it. This looks like an adapter board. I wonder what this is used for. I haven't read the instructions yet at all. This is the first time I'm actually looking at it. So this is some sort of a adapter board, similar to the NAJ, but very nicely done with acrylic and all. Let's put that over there. Here is the laser module. Package is already open, and it is slick looking, pretty. There we go, Ortur. And you can see this is 24 volts, 3 amps. It has the built-in air assist up here, where you plug in the air assist. This looks like it'll fit on LU2-10-A24, and a couple other numbers. We'll put that over there for right now. Here is the air assist package. So in here you've got your, well, let me just dump this out. Be easier to see without the reflection from the baggie. So there we go, that's everything. We'll get rid of these twist ties. A lot of twist ties. Alright, and this is the nozzle right here. So we've got our nozzle. We've got our valve, control valve. A couple other parts here. I'm guessing that, oh, look at that. That looks like a copy of the X-Tool focusing gauge. I kind of like this one because it's very stiff. If you have the X-Tool, you'll know that the magnetic one, it vibrates and makes a lot of noise while you're engraving, and that's kind of annoying. Oh, we have another plug hog. I would really wish that they would use a regular power adapter that's not a plug hog. And then we've got a power cable. Alright, so it's a keyed power cable. Only goes in one way. And you can see, well, you probably can't see that notch. I'll try and zoom in a little bit. There's a notch here, there's a notch there, and it only goes in one way. Like that. Nice solid cable, which Ortur is not known for in the past. So that's good. And of course we've got the airline right here. and I'm guessing that the air assist nozzle just, let me just make sure that's clean first. Yep, it's nice and clean. So we're gonna go backwards first until we feel it click, and I don't feel it click, so I'm just gonna go, there we go, it just clicked. And there is our air assist nozzle. Easy install on that. Let's see how far away it is. A few millimeters distance from the focal gauge. I like, this is nice and stiff. I like that. Okay, so we've got that, and that's about it. So I will go ahead and read through this, and then I'll cover the actual installation. Yeah, see, there's the Ortur plug. This is for the, okay, yep, okay, so everything's pretty well described here in this manual, and I'll go ahead and read through this manual to make sure that we do this the right way, and pick up again in a minute. All right, so this did come with the new mounting bracket if you have the LaserMaster original Ortur LaserMaster. So you can, I don't know if the 2 has the same bracket, but this is the adapter plate. You just take the old adapter plate off and screw the new one on. This one is the Ortur. It already has the adapter plate. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off the original module that came with this unit. So in order to do that, I guess I have to get rid of this little twist tie right here for my air assist. So we'll get rid of that. We'll take the hose, well, I have to unscrew this. I'll just take the module off first. I'll go ahead and unscrew the module and take it off. And I'm going to need to take this grounding wire off right here. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to have to take this plug out. And with these plugs, always use your fingernail in this little slot right here to pull them. Don't pull them by the wires. Now, according to the instructions, we're going to take this plug and we're going to plug it into this top port right here. So, and this is the Ortur, and make sure that it's locked in place like that. And then we're going to take this plug from the Ortur laser and plug it into this port right here. So I'm going to push down on that. The only thing that sort of baffles me now is what to do with this grounding wire, because there is no instructions on that. And what Ortur is saying is that this should now be mounted over here. So let's go ahead and clip this wire right here. And now this wire is going to come back, and this is going to mount right here to the stanchions above the stepper motor. So let me get that done real quick, and I'll be right back. I'm going to say the wiring is a bit messy on this. They could have done a better job of the mounting for this. So I just disconnected the original wire and looped it back here and just twist tied it to here, and it seems to work just fine, just the way it is. And what I did up here was I just redid my twist ties here so that I still have my air assist control over here, and everything seems to work very nicely just the way it is. So it seems to be okay. Now the question that I do have is about this air assist tube right here, because it comes right out. It does not attach on the inside, even though there are some little Yeah, you can't see it on this video, but there are some little claws in there, but it's not catching those. So no matter what I've done, it will not catch on to those claws. Maybe somebody out there will know. I'm twisting it, I'm turning it, pushing it down, and it's still, well, that's sort of caught, but I'm pretty sure that's going to blow out when I turn the air assist on. I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. So there's the final results. I did wind up taking this screw out and putting the ground wire on there on the stepper motor, and just because I don't feel comfortable not having that grounded, and I don't know if that's a proper ground. I really don't like the fact that this is just twist tied to the stanchions right there. I think they could have done a better job on the design of it. Not quite sure how, to change the design, but I'm sure there's an engineer out there that knows a better way than that. So there we go. That's it. It's installed. It took about 5 minutes. The worst part was just, now I know why we got all the twist ties. The worst part was just redoing all the twist ties and make sure that the cables came up, up and over to the laser so they'd stay out of the way. What I do like is that they included a long, let me flip this around. They included this long focusing screw here. So that makes a big difference, not having it all the way up in here. It's way out here. It's probably 3 times as long as the original one. And actually, here's the, it came with 2 of them. And this is the original one right here. And you'll see that it's way smaller. Probably half the size of this one. So I like that really long one. Sticking way out there makes it much easier to focus. And I'm really liking the new focusing gauge as well. So, first observations, it is quite noisy. And there is an awful lot of air coming out the bottom. I mean, incredible amount of air coming out the bottom there. I do want you to see my mess back here with all the plug hogs. I don't know why these people just can't give a regular power supply that you don't have to take up 2 plugs with, but just ridiculous. But let's try out the air assist. Let's see what happens if I turn on the Diwali. Well, I was afraid that was going to pop out, but it didn't. I see there's another LED over there. I'm guessing that's for when it's engraving. I'm going to turn off that air assist. Alright, so I'm going to load something up in Lightburn, and let's get started and see what this thing does. Alright, here we go. So I'm starting with the 3.3 millimeter 3-ply plywood, and here I'm doing the engrave test. And I did from 1,000 millimeters per minute up to 9,000 millimeters per minute in 254 DPI, 2.5% overscan, which you don't really need. The next one I did is the same plywood 3 millimeter cut test. This one was from 150 millimeters per minute to 320 millimeters per minute. Now, all of these things that I do are one pass. So this is one pass. Everything that I've cut, that I've engraved, whatever the case might be. And now I'm doing the grayscale test. Now this is an actual grayscale image, and I've got it scaled up to size. To do this image properly, it has to be at 155 millimeters wide to get the best results. And I'm going to cover each of these in detail in a minute or so once this grayscale is done. And you're going to see exactly how I use this particular universal test card. If you don't have it, it's something that you should get. It's free. My forum is free. Everyone is welcome there. And it's in the members only download section. And there are all types of different tests that you can do for all different types of engraving and cutting. Well, let's get into the results. And actually, this is going to help a lot of you out with the universal test card too, which is available on my forum. In the members only download section, there's a file there called the universal test card, and it has all types of tests that you can do for all types of material. You know, the test is not material specific, but let me show you a couple of the tests that I did do. So I started, and you can either do the universal test card itself, or you can, you know, manipulate it and put different things in there, like I do, to do specific tests on one test card. Well, I started with the engraving test card. Now, this is a 10 watt, so I'm going to go from 1,000 to 9,000 millimeters per minute because it's a 10 watt. And by doing that, and this is what you get right here. And I'll put a picture of this up on the screen so that you can see it better while I describe it. So now with the picture up, you'll see that on the left side, if you go down to 9,000, it's just barely engraving there. So we can engrave, for instance, a grayscale image from the 10% all the way up to the 100% and get a nice engraving. Now, you use this test card as you move up. If you're on the right hand side, what you're going to do is move all the way up until you see the darkest engraving that you want. And in this case, if I wanted a really dark engraving, I would go at 2,000 millimeters per minute and 100% and still get all the way down to the 10%. In fact, maybe I would go to 3,000. I would go to 3,000 millimeters per minute and 100% power, and that way I have a really nice, from white all the way up to a dark brown engraving. And this is how you use these test cards. You have to vary your speed. So if this didn't work for you, let's say the top one at 1,000 millimeters per minute just burned too dark like it did on this one, you could just eliminate that, delete that entire column. Or yeah, just delete the entire column and start at 2,000. And you'll know this right off the bat. Not that it really matters. You can let it burn through the 1,000, but this gives you a good indicator of what it's going to do on wood. Next, we move on to the cut settings, and you'll see that I started with the 3mm plywood. It's 3-ply plywood, and I started at 150 millimeters per minute, and I did 70, 80, and 90 and 100% power. Well, this one was a fail because I should have started at maybe 320 millimeters per minute, looking down at the bottom. So I did that again. I customized the card in Lightburn, deleted a bunch of the rows and cells, and I started at 320 millimeters per minute. And this way I know that at 90 and 100%, it's going to cut through at 320 millimeters per minute by looking at my last card. And then I ran that all the way up to 400, which I knew wasn't going to cut through. Now, I will tell you that at 380 and 100% power, I can pop it out. And at 370 and 90% power, I can pop it out, but I didn't. I purposely didn't pop it out because I wanted to just show you what I lifted off of the work bed that dropped out by itself. And that's what you're looking for, is when you lift it up, it drops out by itself. That is the perfect cut. So on this, what's the perfect cut? Well, you know, 360 millimeters per minute, 90% power. That looks perfect to me. 370, 100% power. That looks perfect to me as well. Let's move on to the next one, which is going to be the grayscale test. So on this grayscale test, you'll see that I ran it at 8,000 speed, 254 DPI or LPI, and this is an actual grayscale image. And to really get the perfect idea of what this laser can do, you need to scale this image up to a width of 155 millimeters. That will give you the perfect idea of what the laser can do. Now you will see from this that from 10% to 100%, I have a gradient all the way around. Now what does that mean? That means that you'll get color at every percentage of your laser from 10% to 100%. So if you were doing a grayscale image, you would set your maximum power to 100%. You'd set your minimum power to 10% if you're engraving at 8,000 speed. Now, you can change this card again, lower the speed to 7,000, and you'd probably get down into that 5%. And really, that's what you're looking for. You're looking to get from 5% to 100%. If you can do that, you're going to get fantastic grayscale images. All right, so now we have even more noise going on. It is Louisiana in July, so it's going to downpour every day. Let's talk about some other things as far as this laser is concerned, and it has to do with spot size. This 10-watt laser does have a really small spot size, and the clarity of the engraving is really nice. Now here I have the Ortur Laser 2 test card that I did with the standard 5.5 watt module that came with it. And here I have the, now this one was done, let me see, 4,000 speed. And here I have at 8,000 speed the 10 watt module. So you can plainly see the difference in clarity between the two. Now I've run this one at twice the speed. Probably should have been maybe 6,000 speed. Would have been a better, more comparable view of the two. But look at the difference in the clarity between the two. The clarity between the two is just night and day. It's unbelievable. So that's the first thing I wanted to point out, was how clear this laser engraver engraves. And the second thing that I wanted to point out is the clarity on the wood. Now this is two different pieces of plywood that are from the same batch. So now this one is 10,000 millimeters per minute on the Ortur 2 5.5 watt laser. This one is 10,000 millimeters per minute on the 10 watt laser module, and you can see the difference in the clarity. It is very, very obvious between the two. There is a big difference in clarity. There's a big difference in the way the image came out. There's just a big difference between the two, period. There was no smoke stain on the wood because I had the air assist on with the 10 watt module. So it is a nice, clean, clear burn. And these are both run at the exact same speed, the exact same LPI. Everything is exactly the same. The thing that kind of puzzled me, this one on the Ortur took 52 minutes and one second. This one on the with the 10 watt module took 51 minutes and 3 seconds. Both exactly the same, set to exactly the same speed, exactly the same LPI. So I don't know how I gained a minute with this one, but I did somehow. But there's a good comparison right there of the difference between the air assist, not having the air assist, and also the clarity of the spot size. All right, so finally, comparing the two, the 5.5 to the 10 watt laser, you would typically think that if you double the laser power, you're going to be able to do double everything. So what you used to cut at 100, you can now cut at 200, but it just doesn't work that way. So I saw about a 50% increase in engraving time, or 50% decrease in lasering time for the engraving. And for the cutting, well, on the Afera, on the 5.5 watt, this is what I got clean. Actually, I got one more cut clean at 260, one pass, 260 millimeters per minute, and that was my highest speed, 100% power. On the 10 watt, I got up to 380 for a clean cut at 100% power. And again, this is what drops out. I could have popped these last couple out right here, but I didn't, because I wanted it to be, you know, what drops out, not what pops out. Okay, I could pop these last couple out right here, but I didn't want to. So my max speed, you know, was, you know, 370 at 100% power on this one, as opposed to 260 and 100% power on the 5 watt. So yes, there's a big difference. It's not double what you would expect, but that's not how this works. You know, a lot of people are thinking now with the new 20 watt lasers, laser modules that just came out, you know, from AtomStack and Xtool, that you're going to be able to cut twice as thick. That's just not the case. You know, when you start collimating the laser beams, it's going to lower the output, the optical output. So yeah, the optical output is definitely not 20, okay? But what upgrading to the 10 watt does is it allows you to do everything faster, 30 or 40% faster than you were doing it before. And that's what I think a lot of people are really looking for when they're upgrading their laser module, is to do things faster. Now, again, it's not going to be double. As far as the module itself is concerned, is it worth it to upgrade? Yes, absolutely. You know, I upgraded my NAJ when the 10 watt came out last year. I upgraded my Ortur when this one came out just now. You know, I mean, it's definitely worth upgrading. I upgraded the AtomStack. It's definitely worth upgrading to save time, and that's what this is all about, is saving 30 to 40% time, getting better results, getting cleaner results. It has an awesome air assist on it. I absolutely love it. Nothing seems to go back up onto the lens. With all of the cutting and testing that I've done over the last week and a half, which has been a lot of hours, by the way, when I opened it up and looked at the lens, it was completely clean. So the air assist that comes straight down through the laser, there is no reverse effect, you know, as some of them have that come down through the side, where it creates, you know, a vortex that comes back up to the lens and brings smoke up and down and circulates it. That doesn't happen with this. The air assist is going straight down from the top. The laser module itself has an awesome fan on it, where even if you don't have the air assist turned on, and I didn't notice a really big difference between air assist and no air assist when I tested this module. So it has this awesome fan. It is loud, I'll give you that, but I don't really care. It's not that loud, you know. It's not. I really don't worry about the sound of the fan, but I'd rather have it loud and have that extra air coming out. It almost acts like an air assist all by itself, without having to plug in an air assist. And that's another nice thing about this laser module. The third thing I like about it is the little flip down focusing gauge. Now, you do have to estimate when you're cutting. You know, you're not going to have it completely vertical. You're going to bring it up a little bit so that you can lower it to half the distance through the wood when you're cutting. But having that flip down gauge really makes it convenient. You don't have to worry about losing it like you do with the metal cylinders, or having to print a 3D holder to snap onto the extrusion or anything like that. So this is a win all the way around, in my opinion. I think it's a good upgrade, and that's pretty much all I have to say about it. So anyway, there's not much more I can say. So with that said, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video today. I hope you enjoyed the review. I tried to keep it as short as I could. I was planning on making these all short videos, but just, that just doesn't seem to ever work out for me. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the video today, and as always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.